this beautiful Monday. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing and comment on my show. And please continue to do that because it helps us out in the algorithm. Now, when I say us, it's really just me today because my tag team partner, Daredevil Jay, and his wife are expecting a bundle of joy. So he is with his wife by her side where he should be. And on behalf of myself and my family and all our subscribers, we want to wish them a congratulations and a healthy baby. And thank you. Thank you for staying at home because he was trying to come on the show. Your boy wouldn't let him do it. I can't let him do it. So congratulations to the Daredevil family. And if you see this, I'll talk to you soon. Now, right here on the Signature and Finisher podcast, I got a thing where I like to say your signature move and your finisher move. So the signature move is the Oblivion, and the finisher is the spear. But before the spear, we get the Superman punch. Now, why did I use those three moves, signature and finishers? Is because Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns won this year's men's and women's Royal Rumble. Congratulations to both of them. That's a hell of an achievement. No hate. I kind of like this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, if you seen the YouTube short that I posted yesterday, I said that the WWE creative has an opportunity to tell a story and the long-term booking of this whole situation. Now let's break it down into two spots because I don't want to mix and mingle with either story. So let me break it down to you like this. On the women's side of the things, with Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble, now the little controversy she had in the Royal Rumble was that she eliminated her partner, she eliminated her friend, she eliminated someone who's been by her side from day one, Raquel Rodriguez, and she did it effortlessly, and she did it with the intent of she wanted to win. She didn't even care. She didn't care about her friend's feelings. She didn't care about her friend is fighting Stephen Victor today for the championship. The WWE finna tell the story of the Judgment Day women. The WWE is doing something that we have all been wanting to do for a very long time. It just took them a long time to get to this point, or maybe we just didn't recognize it. And remember, all this is my opinion. No one didn't tell me this. I didn't ask nobody. This is just your boy's humble opinion on all this, by the way. The WWE can tell the story of Roxanne Perez. And by putting her in the Judgment Day, it makes that story much sweeter. And by Liv winning this year's Royal Rumble, it's gonna make this that storytelling and that long-term booking. It's gonna probably be one if they go this route. It will be one of the best long-term storytelling book on the women's side in a very long time. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. Liv Morgan is gonna be the new women's world champion on Raw. She's gonna win her WrestleMania match. That's a no-brainer. If you think she's gonna lose, I want you guys to get out. If you think she's gonna lose, get out. Don't watch the stream. She is going to win. Liv has been runner-up 2 years in a row. This is our first time be part of a main event on WrestleMania. The current champion, Stephen Victor, is going to be her opponent. Now, everybody like what Diaz knows, she got to choose between Raw champ. She got to choose between Stephanie. She got to choose between Jade Cargo. Hey, it won't be Jade. I would be shocked if she chooses Jade. Stephanie makes more sense on the grounds of Raquel and Roxanne. Now, again, the WWE has built new stars. in the men's division and the women's division. Building up Roxanne Perez. Eventually have her go 1-on-1 against Liv Morgan for the title. That would elevate Roxanne Perez, and putting the title on Roxanne Perez is what gonna make this probably one of the best main events when that happened. Okay, so let me get to my reason why I said that, and because I started it. They were able to tell the story of the Judgment Day women. It started by when they added Roxanne. It then Liv went out with an injury. Roxanne and Raquel became close. They became tag team. They was tag team champions. Because Liv was out, Roxanne took Liv's place as the other half of the tag team, women's tag team champions. They eventually lost those titles, but Raquel and Roxanne, they got close. They grew closer. They became buddies. While Liv was out, Liv did not trust Roxanne. She did not like Roxanne. When Liv came back, Liv had a whole different attitude towards Roxanne. She took Roxanne under her wing, and now, we got to the Royal Rumble. We got to the Royal Rumble, and we just seen Liv eliminate Raquel. Now, why would Liv do that to her own quote unquote best friend, right? I mean, Judgment Day over everything. Judgment Day, we're gonna dominate the Royal Rumble. Liv had other things, other ideas. And it's nothing personal with Liv when she eliminated Raquel. Because if Raquel looks at it, Raquel has her shot tonight. Liv was trying to make sure that she had that shot down the road. So when you see Liv eliminate Raquel, you see Raquel was upset. Raquel didn't want to go in the back. She's standing at ringside. But 10 minutes ago, you seen, or I should say 15, 20 minutes ago, we seen Roxanne Perez get eliminated. I think it was by Rhea Ripley, if I remember correctly. But by Liv winning, I mean, I lost my train of thought, so I'm just going to continue. By Liv winning, and the way the WWE protected Roxanne Perez in the Royal Rumble, sure, she got eliminated. But they made sure she didn't eliminate her early or late. She got eliminated somewhere in the middle. They're protecting her. Ever since she's been with the Judgment Day, Roxanne has been protected. Now, those reports came out that the WWE has been very, very happy with the work Roxanne Perez has been doing, battling through some knick-knack injuries, but they've been happy with her work. And remember, this is a young lady who was called the prodigy. This is the same young lady when she was at NXT. She was dominating the women division. This is the same young lady while she was at NXT. The WWE had called up numerous times to showcase her on Raw, SmackDown, Royal Rumble. The WWE back then had big plans for Roxanne Perez. And the WWE going to continue with those plans for Roxanne Perez. So tonight is where everything is going to begin. We're going to see probably a confrontation, the Judgment Day women. You're going to have Raquel probably going to ask Liv why did she did what she did. And you're going to see Roxanne play the supporting role. Because right now it's about Liv. And Liv going to say something to smooth things over. But Raquel is going to focus on her match against Stephanie. Now, here's the thing that WWE can do that will make everything come full circle. This is one of the few things that I believe it's a layup. What if the WWE pulled the trigger and put the title on Raquel? Because they also, I want to say some months back, were talking about putting the title on Raquel. They probably just waiting for the right time. So what if they do that now? What if they put the title on Raquel tonight? Have her be Stephanie. Go into WrestleMania. Defend that title against Liv. And you put Roxanne right in the middle of this whole situation. Because she would have to choose. I believe, in my humble opinion, I believe that if the WWE want to tell the story right, you put the title on Raquel, have her fight Liv at WrestleMania. Because by this time, the Judgment Day women, they're broken up. They're broken up. You have her beat Raquel Rodriguez. I'm talking about Liv. You give Liv her nice run. She's still battling Raquel, Stephanie. And then sometime next year or in this year, Roxanne is feuding with Liv. Okay, Roxanne never left the picture. Clear that up. Roxanne never left the picture, but you're building up to that match. You build to that match. You building up her star. Roxanne wins the number one contendership, whoever that may be. It could be a one-on-one with Stephanie. It could be with, I'm just throwing names out here. It could be with Naomi. It could be with Charlotte Flair. It could be with Becky Lynch. But she wins number one contendership. She go on to face Liv at next year's Royal Rumble, or this year's Survivor Series, or next year WrestleMania. We don't know. And you put Liv and you put Roxanne over. You see, the reason why I said what I said is because you have to build Roxanne up right way, the way you do in Braun Breaker. You don't have Roxanne win the title at just some pay-per-view. It gotta be on the big stage, main stage. And you already know the W is all about the moments. In my humble opinion, the WWE gonna tell the story of the Judgment Day women, and which is gonna lead to Roxanne Perez at the end of this story. At the end of this long-term booking, it's gonna be the new women's world champion. She's gonna beat Liv. I mean, yes, Liv well deserving of being the champion, and she will be. She's gonna win at WrestleMania. Liv's gonna have a nice title run. Make no mistake about that. From WrestleMania until whenever they decide to take the title off her, Liv's gonna have a nice title run. Liv deserves that. Liv Morgan is one of the most popular superstars in the WWE right now. Not just in the women, not just in the women's division in the WWE. Period. Her fan base is huge. The moment they create for Liv Morgan in the Royal Rumble, that's what the WWE is all about. Having her win the championship at WrestleMania, that moment is what the W is all about. But they also came back, they're gonna tell a story. In the words of the fans of Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan's gonna finish her story at WrestleMania. From being the bridesmaid, the runner-up 2 years in a row, the Royal Rumble, to finally winning, to now going in as the challenger and the favorite at WrestleMania. And all now depends who's she gonna wrestle. Is it gonna be Stephanie or is it gonna be Raquel? You heard me. I want Raquel. If the WWE feel froggy and if they feel a little dangerous, they want to get wild with this whole situation, Raquel win tonight. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Stephanie versus Liv. Stephanie still battling the Judgment Day women. I mean, at some point, we're going to get tired of seeing that. At some point, that's going to run its course. And then we all going to be sitting here asking for something different in a week or two. But what if you put the title on Big Sexy Raquel and that will start the breakup, the eventual breakup of the Judgment Day? Something that should have happened a year ago, 2 years ago. But what if this can be the startup? Well, let me rephrase that. We seen the startup at the Royal Rumble. But what if? What if this would be the nail in the coffin? Because in my theory, Raquel and Liv cannot go into WrestleMania as part of the Judgment Day faction. They can't. I'm just saying. What if? And during that breakup, what if Roxanne and Raquel jump Liv? You keep Raquel and Roxanne strong heels, and you make Liv a face, or vice versa. Either way, the WWE got to tell this story because to me, it's more compelling. It has a lot of meat to it, and I do believe that you will get the attention from your fan base. Nope, like I said, nothing against Stephanie. Stephanie's a hell of a wrestler. I love her work. But can we just be it up straight up real that they ain't done nothing with her since she won the title? They ain't done nothing with her. I haven't seen one story that they told with Stephanie winning the title that actually I enjoy. And I like Stephanie. I think she's a world-class athlete. I think she's one of the best female wrestlers in the world. Not just in the WWE, in the world. Side note, pause. I feel the same about Julia, by the way. And I hate the way they're using her down in SmackDown. Unpause. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like how they're using her down on Raw because they're not telling any stories with her matches. That's why I believe you put the belt on Raquel. You got a built-in storyline. You have a built-in feud, and you can use Raquel to fight Liv. Her Liv can feud while Roxanne's sitting there watching, studying, and along the way, you're building her up. You're building her up. Once Liv done feuding with Raquel, Roxanne come right on in the picture. Come right on in the picture. I do believe that would be the best story to be told. I hope the WWE go that way. That's my opinion. If they don't, that's fine. But the story of the Judgment Day women battling for be the top women's champion, not just on Raw, but in the company, it's more better storytelling, long-term booking than anything they got going on in the women's division. I'm not comparing this to the Bloodline storyline because that'd be crazy. I'm not comparing this to the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan saga. Actually, I am. Actually, I am. I am comparing those two together. I think it'll beat that one. The WWE has to tell this story. They have to tell the story, and I hope they do. Because you're building your protege, you're building a young star who will eventually become a superstar. And she will eventually become one of the probably the top face in the WWE Women's Division. It makes so much sense that Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble, wins the championship at WrestleMania, and just like Braun Breaker, you're building Roxanne Perez along the way, building her star up. She's going to face someone that she looked up to, someone she idolized, someone that they were on the same team, same faction. She learned from Liv. She studied Liv and eventually overtake Liv and win that championship. So I'm pulling for that. Roman Reigns is the top superstar in the WWE. He is the guy. He is the man. How I know that? Because the man was champion for 5 years. The last 2 years, he has been a non-champion, but the biggest star in the WWE. And I have no issues of him winning the Royal Rumble. I know everybody wanted Sami Zayn. So you got some people who wanted Cody Rhodes. You got other people probably wanted Jacob Fatu. You probably got other people who wanted Gunther. In which Gunther would probably have been my second one because second favorite to win if Roman didn't do it, only just because if Gunther would have won the Royal Rumble, it would elevate his star, but also it would make him the top heel in the WWE. You talking about a guy who just retired John Cena, then that night retired AJ Styles, came back later on that night and win the Royal Rumble. You built his heel status up. You make him the most dominant heel in the WWE. So I'm okay with him not winning. I'm very, very good with and happy with Roman Reigns winning because just like I just told you about Liv and Roxanne, you building up Roxanne up. This is the exact same thing you doing Braun Breaker. Now I was a little shocked that they had Braun be eliminated, the first eliminator, and it kind of took me by surprise. But the WWE is protecting Braun Breaker because just like Roxanne, I should have said this. They're known they're protecting him, but they got bigger plans for him. Just like Roxanne Perez, this road that Braun Breaker about to go through is not going to be easy. They're going to make it tough for him. They're finna see how good of a champion that he is going to be. They're not finna go put the time on him right away. And even though I have said he should have been CM Punk when they fought one on one because you heard the reports that they want to build, they want Braun Breaker to win on a bigger stage. Well, what's the other big stage other than WrestleMania or SummerSlam that Braun Breaker win the title on? How about the your season, end of season one, beginning of season two, the beginning of season two on Netflix? That would have been a huge stage, one on one. But they ain't pull the trigger. They went with Punk. Braun Breaker, ever since that loss, you can say he has been in a downward spiral, but he's been getting his lesson in. He's seen him, Adam Pearce, and Paul Heyman, them two going up at Adam Pearce head to head. He been suspended. He got reinstated. He didn't want to be the first participant. Number one, cool. He was number two. He got attacked, thrown in the ring, eliminated by Obafemi. And shout out to Obafemi, man. I'm glad about time you made your debut on the main roster. Now I just got to figure it out. Is he going to be on Raw or SmackDown? Again, my humble opinion, let's put him on SmackDown. But with Braun Breaker being eliminated that early, you're protecting him. Because again, they got bigger plans for Braun Breaker. And they're going to tell Braun Breaker's story just like Roxanne because both young talent is going to have big matches along the way. With Braun, you can go any direction with this story. Because he's not going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. No, that's CM Punk. What Braun Breaker is this, because I'm going to tie everything all together. Like Liv, Roman Reigns is going to beat CM Punk at WrestleMania. Punk don't need a full year title run. And It don't make sense for Braun Breaker to beat CM Punk at WrestleMania. It makes sense that Roman Reigns win the title at the WrestleMania, and then he can go ahead. We can build up. We can tell that story of Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, because for weeks, months now, we have heard that eventually this was going to happen. Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. Now, I just said the WWE was not going to put that title on Braun Breaker on any PLE or no Raw or no Night main event. They want to do it on a bigger stage. And what we thought about is, well, maybe it'll be the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. What if that bigger stage they was talking about was Roman Reigns? Maybe that stage was Roman Reigns because, like I said, Roman Reigns is the top dog. He is the top superstar in the in the WWE. And what if Braun Breaker on his first try, just like Brock Lesnar beat The Rock, what if on the first try, Braun Breaker at a big PLE on the biggest stage in the company beat the biggest star in the company? That big stage is Roman Reigns. And any pay-per-view that Roman Reigns is on is a big stage. Now, we don't expect Roman Reigns to have a long title run. We don't expect Roman Reigns to be champion all into next year WrestleMania due to his schedule. Roman Reigns right now in his career is a special attraction. So when you connect all the dots and you allow Paul Heyman and the WWE to tell this story, this long-term booking story of Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns, the the guy who was under Paul Heyman, the guy that elevated his career under Paul Heyman, made him to one of the most dominant champions of this decade, this generation. He would now have to fight an understudy of Paul Heyman, whose career trajectory is like Roman Reigns. It's the reason why they kept these two men separated. There's a reason why these two men has not went one-on-one yet. Oh, they interacted, of course, division against Roman Reigns when he was teaming up with CM Punk, LA Knight. This storytelling that's right in the hands of the WWE between these two gentlemen, it's right there for the taking. And the only way this long-term booking storytelling gets deviated if one of these two guys get hurt. But what actually, let me phrase that. If Braun Breaker gets hurt, then all bets are off. But if Roman gets hurt and Roman's still champion, you can still tell that story. You see, the WWE took a lot of detours to get to this story because they finally realized nobody wants to see Cody and Roman part 3 for the title. Nobody wants to see that. Even though I do believe that's going to happen at some point down the road, nobody wants to see it. No, the second story that a lot of us, probably other than this one, that everybody wanted to see was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, which they were leading up to and built it up to until Rollins got hurt. And then once Rollins got hurt, everything went sideways. But this with Braun Breaker, it makes sense. Because think about it. What if Braun Breaker wouldn't put it together this way? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I know I'm repeating myself a lot of times. Seth Rollins might be coming back at WrestleMania. So Braun's road to the championship will have to go through Seth Rollins, one part of the Shield. And he finish up that story against Roman Reigns, another part of the Shield. Two guys, Rollins, Reigns, who's dominated the WWE for over 10 years. Different shows, same show, dominated. The face of the WWE for 10 years plus. Braun Breaker goes through both of them. Class storytelling 101. I want to see it. And I hope we get that. Again, this is all my opinion. No facts. No one didn't tell me. This is all my opinion. This is what I believe. And I could be wrong. The WWE can go in two different directions for Liv and for Roman. We probably won't get those storytelling. But it's right there to be told. I think a lot of times when we think the WWE should do something, they do something different. This right here makes more sense. My humble opinion, this makes more sense. We criticize, we talk about the young talent is not being used right. They're not putting them in a good position. They're playing it safe. They're not building, they're playing it safe. If you don't believe me, listen to Roman Reigns' interview on the Pat McAfee show when he talked about WWE Creative and about the young stars. Check that out. The WWE has to get away from playing it safe. The WWE needs to walk on that wild side, not too much, but walk on it, and build these two young stars. Because for years before they actually debut on the main roster, until they officially on the main roster, they have been teasing us with Braun Breaker, Roxanne Perez. They had told us that these two are the next big main eventer, next big stars. And yes, there are others. I expect Trick Williams. I expect Carmelo Hayes, Laura Ventura, Bird Girl, Stephanie, Julia, Kiana James. Yeah, I expect them to do great things with them as well. Tiffany Stratton, they did some wonderful things with Tiffany Stratton. Dragunov, in my opinion, is going to be a champion. They are starting to do some great things with him by getting him the U.S. title. Now let's see what they're going to do afterwards. Gunther, we knew about Gunther for a long time. And when he came up to the main roster, he dominated the way he did. They put the title on him because they trusted him. It's the same thing with Roxanne Perez. It's the same thing with Braun Breaker. Build them up. This is long-term booking. You're going to tell compelling stories. And let's elevate their star. Let's build them up. Let's make them to main eventers. Again, in my opinion, I hope they do this. And it makes more sense. Now, that's my thoughts on my opinion on what they're going to do with Roxanne Perez and Braun Breaker. Their long-term storytelling booking, which involves Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns, by them two winning the Royal Rumble and eventually winning at WrestleMania, and everything I just explained what's going to happen afterwards. Again, my opinion. The Royal Rumble matches itself, they were fine. The women part of it, the last 30 minutes was part I enjoyed. The first 40 minutes of it, I didn't because it was lackluster. But it got to where they need to get to. I humbly enjoyed it. The men's side, equally, I enjoyed it. They had a few surprises on the win. I mean, no one expected Brie Bella to come back. On the men's side, Powerhouse Hobbs debut as Royce Keys. We finally seen Obafemi, who dominated when he came in. I mean, for 40 minutes, he was kicking butt. And then Brock Lesnar came out. And then they did this tease between Oba and Brock. And I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I was hoping that we was gonna get a showdown. Now the stare down, a showdown. And what happened? Nothing. You got all these guys, everybody else kept getting involved. Eventually to the point where Obafemi got eliminated there. But Jay Uso was yeeting in the stands. And the camera cut it to Jay Uso yeeting in the stands. Brock Lesnar getting laid by Cody Rhodes and somebody else. And we caught the last part of that. I like yeeting just like anybody else. But can we please go away from the yeeting? Can we please go away from yeeting? I don't mind it running it back. But don't run it back during a important elimination. That's not right. I don't want to see that. What I'm more interested in from both Rumble matches is that I hope there were more stories that can be told after the Royal Rumble against certain superstars. Because that's the whole point of us watching the WWE, because we were spoiled by the Bloodline storyline, and ever since then, we haven't gotten any good, compelling stories. So now I'm hoping that we'll get some good stories coming out of the Royal Rumble heading to WrestleMania, because it is WrestleMania season. So I'm hoping we get some good, compelling stories being told. I'm quite sure LA Knight finished his story with the Vision because he took care of them. So now LA Knight got to move to something different. We seen the Masked Man came down and hit Braun Breaker with a stump. Now speculation, everybody think that was Logan Paul. I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, that's the WWE way of letting us know that Seth Rollins is coming back. And that was Seth Rollins who curb stomped Braun Breaker. It necessarily don't have to be Seth Rollins under the mask. But in theory, that was Seth Rollins eliminated Braun Breaker. Now I know everybody is making a big deal about the empty seats at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. And that is a big deal. Because if you WWE, next year WrestleMania is going to be there. And I know 25,000 was announced for a sellout. That was not a sellout. You see all those empty seats? It's kind of funny how that one side was packed, but the other side was full of empty seats. And we can't sit here and say, oh, that's by design. No. If you're on WWE, that's a major red flag. I am concerned. I will be concerned about that. But a lot of things also play a factor in. Number one, that show started about 11 o'clock Saudi Arabia time. So time plays a factor on everything. Ticket prices pays a factor. That's on everything. Now I know, hold on, let me correct myself. I know the government, they control those prices over there, so we don't know how much it was being charged for. But that is a huge red flag. All that's a red flag. If I'm the WWE, I better have a secondary plan in place, because I don't think you want WrestleMania, your biggest pay-per-view next year in 2027, to have those many empty seats. Now, don't get me wrong, the WrestleMania venue is not that venue, but still, that's bad luck. and the Royal Rumble is one of your 4 top major paper PLEs. That cannot happen at WrestleMania next season. It cannot. And the simple fact that Sami Zayn didn't win the Royal Rumble did not play a role in that. So let's stop it right there with that. But that's a bad look. And if you're the WWE, you better have secondary plans in place. Because if that place ain't sold out, wherever WrestleMania, the venue going to be in Saudi Arabia next year, if that venue is not sold out, if I don't see every seat filled in those stands, I don't think I can have another major PLE come back there. But another thing we also got to take into factor is that the Saudis want to see the wrestlers that they want to see. So they probably not up on Matt Cardona, or they probably not up to Carmella Hayes or Trick Williams, nothing like that. You already heard that the Saudi government, the prince, wants to see The Rock. He wants Stone Cold. He wants The Undertaker. He wants all the guys from the Attitude Era to be at WrestleMania. And a lot of those guys can't even wrestle anymore, don't want to wrestle no more. So it's going to be very interesting to see who will be there and how WrestleMania will look next season. And remember, money is no object to the prince. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, tune in to Raw tonight. I will be back tomorrow doing a review. And let's see how things gonna go on Raw tonight. I expect Finn Balor versus CM Punk. I expect some type of confrontation between those two. The Judgment Day confrontation. I expect that. Hopefully we'll see Dom Mysterio. But hopefully more than anything, I hope today's Raw will start the build up to WrestleMania for some of those wrestlers. Because we don't want no late build. We want that to get started right now. So this has been Signatures and Finishers Podcast. I'm DS Walk. Daredevil J out there having his baby. Congratulations to him and to his lovely wife. I'll see you guys tomorrow.